Formal education will make you a living, while self-education will make you a fortune. Hello my dear learners, welcome to the channel. My name is Namita and today's topic is self-learning. In this video, I am going to talk about what exactly is self-learning, what are the benefits of self-learning and how you can use self-learning to acquire various skills. So first of all, let's try to understand what is self-learning, though you are getting an idea from the name itself, self-learning, but what exactly is it? To define it in a certain way, I would say that self-learning is an approach where the learner makes an effort according to his or her own learning needs to gain knowledge or to acquire a particular skill. So for gaining knowledge, when you depend on a teacher or a system of formal education, a particular curriculum, then we call it a course, a degree, gaining a particular qualification. But self-learning is something where you work on a skill depending on your understanding, depending on your learning needs. Basically, this is something for adult learners. Now, self-learning is not for the children who are in their formative years, because they need a guideline, they need a curriculum to actually venture their own potential. They have to go through a process. So that is why we have a formal education where schools and colleges help you get to know yourself better, and once you are a certain age, then self-learning can benefit you the most, because by now you understand yourself well, you know what are your learning needs, how you can learn things better. So depending on your suitability, you choose your courses, you choose your trainer, or you just learn it completely on your own, because in these days when technology is at its peak, it is not difficult to get the help from a trainer or someone to guide you, because it is also coming for free. So why I chose this topic, let me introduce to you a little about it and let me give you a background to it. While I was studying my M.Ed, which is a master's in education, there was a subject called comparative education. So it was one of my favorite subjects and it got a lot of my attention at that point of time, because there was this comparison of different education systems, the education system of India, UK, USA, how these developed countries have created their education system and how our country has this certain type of education system. And I always have this belief that our education system is not growth oriented, it is not learner centric. It is just that we cram something one night and the next night we vomit it out on a piece of paper, and those marks, the amount of percentage we are getting, will decide how intelligent or how wonderful we are. So I never really approve of this system, so that is why it got my attention and I started studying it in detail. So what I realized from there was that in UK and USA, their education system is all focused on learning by doing, while our system is about lecture method, where a teacher comes in the class of 40, 45, 50 students, writes something on the blackboard, opens a textbook, tell you a concept, whether the child is interested, whether the child has understood it or not, because we know later they might go to a tuition, they are paying the school fee, they are not understanding anything, they are paying the tuition fee, still they are not the topper of their subjects. Then also the system is continuing, which is not benefiting anyone in reality. While these developed countries, they have a system where they are more focused on the individual differences. So their system is all about the learning needs of the individual. So what do? How do they follow it? See, if we have to talk about any historical concept, if you have to study Hitler, or we have to teach the children about Gandhiji, what will we do? We will open the textbook, whatever is written, teacher will come, narrate a few sentences from the book, keep speaking. Half of the students would not be interested, and then they will discuss the questions and answers. The students who will cram will come first, rest of them would fail or just be able to pass it somehow. What they do is, suppose they have to teach them Gandhiji, how the Champaran Yatra happened, what happened to the indigo farming, what was that Simon Go Back, everything. So what they will do, they will tell the children that tomorrow we are going to talk about Gandhiji's life story. Now the children would be sent to library to search for that topic. The children would go and search for this whole concept. What is it all about? Now it is not just limited to library, because now they have Google, they have everything, but in olden days they would practice this, that they would send them to library. The children would search various books in turn various pages, and then they will create create notes, you can say, of their own, where they have already learnt the Gandhiji or Hitler, suppose, whatever the topic has been given to them. Now when they come to class, the teacher is just sitting. The children will come and perform whatever they have learnt in the form of a drama. So they are divided into groups. Every group will do their study, will do their research, and they'll come and present it to the class by playing different roles. Now the one group which has prepared the whole topic and presented it in a form of drama has already understood the concepts completely. They will never forget it because they have worked very hard on this topic, and the rest of the class who were watching it just like a film would automatically learn it. They would understand what it was all about. The incidents would be in front of them, where their peer or their classmates or their friends were performing an act. They will also not forget it. That is the whole idea. This is how learning works, that once you've learned something, it should be there in your memory forever, and that is self-learning. So from that was learning by doing. That now the teacher is not the teacher. He is not someone who is an authority who is telling you what to do. The teacher is just a facilitator. He is facilitating you in learning things on your own. So when you learn something on your own, it stays with you forever. It never gets deleted. And how we study and we delete. We study and we delete because we never understand the concepts properly. In our school also, see how many of us remember what we studied in science, in SS, history, in different languages. We studied grammar, but we still struggle with speaking in English. Imagine if our system would have been this powerful, then we would have been able to remember and recall all the grammatical details we studied in English subject in school. That means there is some flaw in this system. It is there. So that time we were not potent enough to study on our own, because here we follow lecture method and we cannot bring in a lot of change in the whole system. That is why we will bring change in ourselves now. From now on, whenever we want to learn something, whenever we want to acquire a new skill, we will work on self-learning. So today the example is going to be learning English or learning any other skill, working on polishing your personality, working on your strengths. Do it on your own. The first thing which happens is that it gives you freedom. Self-learning gives you freedom and flexibility to learn things at your own pace. You are independent to choose your mentor, because through YouTube or when you use this medium, you can choose your own mentor. In school, it was not a choice. In school, whatever teacher was given to you, you have to somehow manage it with them. There were teachers we never liked. There were teachers who were not, they were qualified, but they were not good enough to make us understand the concept in a good way. So that time we couldn't do much about our situation, but now we are wise enough to do that. We can choose our own mentor. We can choose our own learning material. Which kind of books you want to learn from and what kind of content you want to consume. Everything is on you. You are independent, you're free, you are flexible enough to choose the things which are best for yourself. If you have to choose some books, you have a freedom. You can buy books according to your understanding. The school textbooks are never based on our understanding. Even if we have some books, even if we are reading, sometimes the language is not that simple, sometimes the concepts are not explained in a good way. But now you can choose your own books. There are self-help books which can help you gain some mental strength and become a better person. So if nothing else, if you're just trying to put your life back together, which is a big deal, I think this is the biggest skill to acquire. If you're trying to put everything back in place, we want to come out of our sufferings, then also we can choose how we want to do it, what kind of videos we want to watch, what kind of content we want to consume. Everything depends on you. Then you can learn the concept, the skill, or even English at your own pace. Every learner has his or her own learning needs. Everybody learns at their own speed. No one is same when it comes to learning abilities. A child maybe can learn one concept in 5 minutes, the other child might take 5 days to understand the same concept. But when you are an adult, you know what are your areas of improvement and how with which kind of speed you want to work on it. So then you can work on your own pace. Take your own sweet time. You want to learn a concept in 1 day, go ahead and do it. If you think that it's taking you more time, suppose English, some people can start working on it and become fluent in 3 months, 4 months. It might take you 1 year. But when you are in this self-learning journey, you can easily give yourself time. Take your own time. Work on your grammar, work on your vocabulary, work on learning more phrases, read more books. Take your own sweet time, because there is no examination that you have to pass immediately, and you don't have to go through a lot of comparisons with the rest of your students. Self-learning gives you that pace on which you can work. So this is, I think, a great concept for adult learners. Now, self-learning provides you more awareness. It makes you more aware of your surroundings, because the self-learning approach is full of insight. It is all insightful learning. When you choose self-learning, you would be more aware of how things are happening. See, when a teacher is delivering a lecture, half of the time we are sleeping, we are not even listening to what they are saying. But in self-learning, we are alert. We know that this is my thing. I have to learn it on my own. So I will be more focused. I'll be more aware of what is happening. Even if I'm watching a video, I'll be more alert. I'll be more aware. I'll be more aware of the changes that are happening in my surroundings. What are the current requirements for a job profile, or if you want to develop a skill, if you want to learn English, you'll be more aware. You'll go to a bookstore, you'll choose your own books, because there are no textbooks, so you will choose your own books. The books which you can understand better, the books which can resonate with your thought process. So that is why the awareness is anytime better in self-learning. And then self-learning is cost effective. Of course it is. I think this is the biggest benefit of self-learning, that it is cost effective. It doesn't cost you a lot, because you are not going through a formal system where you have to pay a fees. Even if you hire a trainer, you can choose the trainer on your own, and you can choose someone who's not charging a lot of money. But for self-learning, I would say, then we have a free medium where YouTube videos are providing you trainers and teachers who are there to help you. Go for a free education. But even if for one-on-one chit chat or something like that, for consultation you have to pay, then also it is not a lot of payment. When you enroll yourself in courses, then you get stuck, because then you have put a lot of money into it, whether you like the trainer or not, whether you like their content or not, whether you are liking the whole system or not, you have to go through that course. So in self-learning, this is the freedom that you have. It is a very cost-effective method. It involves a lot of involves very less money, and that is what makes self-learning so special. The other thing which self-learning does is it boosts your self-esteem. You cannot imagine the amount of confidence it brings into your existence. You feel so confident because you're doing everything on your own. When you have someone on the top of your head. They might even tell you your mistakes. They might even at every point tell you, oh no, you just spoke wrong. Oh no, this is not right. When you do everything on your own, it boosts your self-esteem. If you feel that who will judge me, I receive comments like, how would I know if I am doing it right or not? Who will tell me? Who will correct my errors? When you are an adult, you are your best judge. You can correct your errors, and it is not that you don't know where you are making errors. You don't know where you've spoken wrong. It is just that you're not paying attention to it. Of course you know. Of course you know that you have made a mistake. You know it already by yourself, and when you speak something absolutely right, you know that as well. So in the last live, one of you asked me, how would you say that someone has become fluent? How would a person know if they have become fluent? You know it yourself. When you are speaking, your heart will tell you that you are not yet fluent. There are more efforts required. And when you are fluent, your heart will say, wow, you've spoken so right. It was all correct. You spoke the entire paragraph, or you made the entire conversation very fluently. You know it yourself. This is the difference between children and adults. An adult can judge right and wrong for himself or herself, and the amount of confidence it brings on your plate, the way it boosts your self-esteem, you cannot match it with a formal education system. So self-learning is something which we all should apply in gaining various skills, because it imparts a lot of knowledge, a greater knowledge bank. You can keep expanding your knowledge bank using self-learning. So use self-learning to acquire various skills, and how you will go about it is, first of all, you have to have a purpose. What is your purpose? If you want to learn English, then write it down somewhere, because once you pen down something, it becomes reality. Otherwise everything just happens in your thoughts. So write what your purpose is, and then set a goal for yourself. Have a goal. For self-learning, you have to have a goal. Why are you trying to become fluent? Because you want to expand your business, because you want to attract more of clients who speak English. So that is your goal. Once your goal is decided, then break it into smaller goals. Smaller goals like, what is the first thing I'm going to work on? Am I going to learn grammar? Am I going to learn vocabulary? Or learning phrases is all that I have to do? Or I have to work on all three areas? Do I need to hire a trainer for myself, or these free YouTube videos can help me go by it on my own? So break it down into smaller goals, and then maintain a calendar where you are marking various activities. That I started my journey of spoken English on 12th November, or I started it on whatever date, and then I learned vocabulary in 1 month, and then I started working on my grammar. I'm going to work on it for 15 days, and then I'm going to give a lot of time for practicing. Have a calendar, because when you have dates in front of you, you know that every day we have to practice. We cannot skip even a single day of practice. So having a calendar, maintaining a calendar is a wonderful way. Then consistency. Be consistent with your learning. With self-learning, dropout rate is very high, because people just drop out. You have started learning something and then you drop out. Be consistent. If you have picked up something, take it to the end. Be consistent in your learning. Keep your sources, your information, your knowledge together to be consistent. Every day you have to motivate yourself to do it. So your consistency will actually bring the results. In formal education, you have to be consistent, because there is somebody on the top of your head. Here you have to get the consistency from within, and that is something you're going to do. Then another thing for self-learning is never stop learning. Even if you have become fluent, you can keep working on embellishing your skills. You can keep working on making it better. Never stop learning. Learning is a lifelong process. Learning is an ongoing concept. You cannot stop learning till you're alive. So keep working on your learning. Never stop learning. With self-learning, it is the thing that every day, even when you are not sitting in a proper position to learn, then also keep learning. Learn from your environment, learn from plants, learn from children, learn from your surroundings everywhere. Don't stop learning. It's an ongoing process. And the last thing is, be skeptical. Keep asking questions. Have doubts. When you are using a medium like this, something which is there on social media to learn something, you don't believe whatever is being said. See, whatever I'm saying is based on my experiences. In the beginning only, I told you that how this whole concept has come because I studied a subject called comparative education in my masters. That is, I am telling you all of this. But there would be other people who would suggest something else. Everybody has their own point of view, which is completely based on their experiences, their knowledge, their learning. You should be skeptical about it. You should be ready to ask questions. Question yourself, question them. What they are saying is right, and how you will find who is right and who is not, it is something which you can resonate best with, where your experiences and your knowledge connects with the other person. That will work for you. Here, no one is right, no one is wrong. It is just that you connect with someone in a better way than rest of them. Your experiences probably are similar to the other person. His or her voice reaches your heart. They somewhere touch your soul. Even if it is an online interaction, then also if they are touching your soul, they are your people. The end result should be your learning, your knowledge, your gaining of that skill. So use any method. Everything is workable. Just question. Don't believe anything with closed eyes. Be ready with your questions. Always go for a reality check. That's it. This is how self-learning works, and this is how you can use it for learning English, for learning other soft skills, for self-improvement, for working on your mental health, or for gaining, or even if you're appearing for a competitive exam. Self-learning has numerous benefits. So I hope after this you'll be able to start self-learning in different areas, or whatever you want to learn in your life. Self-learning is a good method. Try applying it in your life. Here I'm going to end this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Till then, take care of yourself. Bye bye for now.